Hey, Shalom, Elijah. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. I'm here. Oh man, thank you, Heavenly Father, Earthly Mother, for giving me this opportunity to be a light while I'm in this reality. Thank you for joining me. My name is Shaikwab by Yisrael, and this is my channel where I try to reach out to, I try to minister and encourage brethren who are called faithists in the OAHSPE Bible. It's a revelation, the newest revelation actually from the Creator. And fix my mic here. All right, that I have to do. What you might say is the newest revelation from the Creator. A lot of people can't accept that because anything new is frowned upon, especially when it comes to tradition and anything with the when you're talking about the Heavenly Father doing anything different, then a lot of brethren can't really deal with that. It's hard on people to receive something new. You can't really blame them. But there's some brethren who they're a spiritual mystery, from what I can see, in their ability to hear this thing is trying to fall on me. Might fall during the program. Alright, so I try to minister, I try to share with brethren who are like-minded. They believe pretty much they're able to receive the OAHSPE Bible, and I try to just share things that I learned. I only really just came into it in January, and I believe that it's an incredible opportunity to try to share things that I'm learning from it, that I believe the Creator has given to me. So welcome to my channel. Let me put the link in the room if anyone wants to. Oh, okay. My voice was going in and out, so it's doing okay now. You can hear me, bro? I was messing with the microphone, and I think that's what was causing my voice to go in and out. Is my audio okay now, bro? Just type 1 if it's okay. If I'm coming across okay. So I'm gonna keep going until you tell me if it's all right. Okay, thanks, bro. Thanks a lot. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. All right. So anyway, like I said, I like to have this channel. I have a software where I'm gonna put the link in the room. Thanks, bro. Thank you. I'm gonna put the link in the room. I like to try to have it to where if you want to come in and you want to share something that you're learning from the OAHSPE, or something you want to try to build up brethren with, then feel free. The link, I just put it in the room. And if you want to testify to something, or maybe you don't even believe in spiritual things, and you want to talk about why you think the way you do, or the questions that anybody may have. That's one reason I used to do it to where I would just do my presentation, and there was no way for brethren to come on. But I encourage you now. I believe that the Creator, He wants us to talk to one another. He wants us to get together and fellowship with one another. I'm all for that. I think that we got a great opportunity to, and I believe it's going, one day, there are going to be a lot of channels like this where brethren are just going to be talking about things that they're learning, the OAHSPE and Creator, and because we getting out of religion. We basically being called to get out of religion now. That's basically the big deal with what's going on in this time. Although it looks and feels the same, our reality, but really that's the work that the Creator is doing right now. He let us go on for a while. Let me scroll the Essene Gospel of Peace so that you can, based on what day of the week you feel you hold this day to be, you can commune with the angels. The Essene Gospel of Peace, I think it might use a Friday, Saturday night Sabbath, Friday evening Sabbath, and so it lists like days of the week: first day, second day, third day. Acknowledge this angel, acknowledge that one. So I don't know what day you brethren may keep. When I read the OAHSPE, I know it says things like to acknowledge the new moon, and to basically keep certain days, and the new moons, as far as I understand, it represents the time when the changes, or actually every quarter of the moon is when the angels, they change watch. The angels who rule over us, they change watch. We're in a situation where, just like a child needs to be brought up, they have tutors and teachers, and over them they got their parents. And same way with us, they do it to us spiritually. From what I understand, they deal with our vibrations, they deal with our spirit. Somehow they influence us. You got righteous influences, you got evil influences. In a sense, we're like in a university or in a college of life. And you go back. I go back. I take me back to high school, and I remember there were different types of students. There were students who liked to act up, like to draw attention to themselves. There were students who were quiet, they were studious, they were paying attention, they were writing things down, always had a pencil and paper and writing notes. And you just have people who are just kind of hanging out, not causing trouble, not really studious, just biding their time till they get the hell out of there. I have to say that's the way I was. I was just counting the days, even from when I first realized I was going to school. It just wasn't for me. I couldn't swallow it, what they was teaching. I just couldn't get with it at all. Just biding my time. Knew that it wasn't dealing with me. So I was that type of student. But I did be taking advantage of the education that was being given to them. And they were able to deal with the boredom. They were able to deal with the monotony. They were able to apply themselves. And me, just to be honest, I couldn't do that. I wasn't interested. At one point I remember trying. I don't feel right. I just want to situate myself better. So a lot of you brethren are probably the same way. But I did take note of the ones who were able to deal with that boredom, deal with the routine, and eventually it paid off for them. But you got to give them credit. In the same way now, spiritually, brethren who are able to deal with this boredom, deal with what you might call drudgery, the routine of spirituality, believing in things that we live in a world where they have trouble seeing it or can't believe it or are under a different kingdom, and you fake this, you brethren we're having to deal with that, and to apply yourself, to read, to study, and to apply that to your life, your learning, your understanding. But we got benefit, at least I think we do. If you're into this, it's because you're interested. I mean, I don't know, I could be wrong, but that's the way I see it, man. You got to be, when it comes to spirituality, man, and talking about things that you can't see, you got to be interested in it. It's got to be, it's the creator, he got to do something, man, and for me, it is so interesting. I feel like I'm reading other people's mail in addition to my own, because he talked to creator. You read the OAHSPE, it ain't nothing about, it ain't about, literature, or, the things that you learn in school today, they teach you about education, academia, from their standpoint and how they say it happened, and you supposed to just believe it, and I think that's what turned me off, man. From a young age, realizing I couldn't explain it, but man, I just think I got it in my mind. Like, what, man? How do you know? Were you there? No. Then why are you telling me? And I think that was my mind, probably same way with a lot of people. I couldn't be reached back then. You just couldn't reach me with no, school or anything like that. I just faked it. But then, and I paid the price for it too, I did pay a price, I eventually did end up going to college, but I really just went to play baseball. That's really all I went for. I was in the military at the time, and they, so even then, when I had a great opportunity, I didn't take advantage of it, But now, It's different, brother. I never knew a book, reading a book, man. This just ain't any book. How it can thrill your soul. So that answers the question of how I think a lot of children, they somehow can find interest in being able, in the different books that they give you to learn about, and they were able to apply themselves. But there was, I don't know, and I'm sure I'm probably like a lot of people, but I paid for it. Like I said, man, if you don't play the game, I had to work hard. I had to work at jobs I didn't like. And even the Creator blessed me with very good paying jobs, and it was just like school, man. I prayed the last few years of my work life. I prayed for a couple of years. I'll never forget it, man. I asked the Creator, please. I was praying to Jesus Christ at that time, but I believe that the Heavenly Father, He knew who I meant. And man, I was praying. I didn't want to work, man. I didn't like it. You couldn't pay me enough, and I was still, even though I was making a pretty good paycheck. To live out here in California, you can make a real good paycheck and you'll still be struggling. You will struggle, man, And they got it to where they pay like $20 an hour now, to give you an idea of how I go out here. And that's just to work at a fast food restaurant. They make $20 an hour to start, because you got to make around that much in order to get like a studio apartment. And I do mean a studio, man, where it's like the size of a closet. And so, but a man shouldn't have to have to work, man, to barely survive. That's not living. That ain't living at all, man. And that's the way this kingdom is. And I know that's not the will of the Creator, because He says He created the earth to be a paradise. We gave it up, our free will. We always never satisfied, and start chasing false gods. Start wanting to be our own, wanting to be self-gods. And, you never know the name of that song. Remember that song? It says, what does it say? It says, don't know what you got till it's gone. And so I imagine that at the time that the Creator, that he first made man, it wasn't what it was. It wasn't what it is now. Although you read where man was unenlightened, very beast-like, until he started to gain knowledge. I think that's the period of time where the earth was as close as it was to the earth being a paradise. The Creator said He made it for like a playground for man, Then enters resources and the desire for resources. And it's just like it is now, man. People fighting over resources. Did y'all hear the news? The United States of America, man. It's like one good thing you could say about the Creator. He just take you away from the earth. He just take you away, Creator, He just take you away from the earth, man. Because at some point, you have enough of it. You say, man, I had enough of this. I'm finished with it. Where's the exit? And then the Creator come along and you say, here, read this word here, or listen to this person here. And then you activate that seed in you, and now you home free. The United States of America, man. The other day, I don't know if you brethren heard, man, they built a pier over in Gaza they say it was to distribute food aid for the Palestinians. They built a big 300 something million dollar pier over there. I mean, come to find out that it was being used for covert purposes for the IDF, Israel's army, to go in to infiltrate this Palestinian refugee camp looking for some of their hostages. They did all that, man. They killed like 270 something people and rescued like 4 hostages. And if you would fake this, you think from a spiritual standpoint, man, that ain't nowhere near the Creator. That is nowhere. I mean, the things that it's like we have to be in one of the darkest. You know, we were looking at it yesterday, where the OAHSPE, it says that if you picture a car on a roadway, you picture driving, right? And you go from one state to another. All right. So let's say you're driving, and then you go through one state. You start out in Ohio, and then the next state over, you're gonna to the southwest is Indiana. And then when you leave Ohio, you get to Indiana, you notice the weather change. It gets a little darker. And then you go down to Tennessee, or depending on what direction you're going in. You know what I mean? You get my drift, right? Each succeeding city that you go to, it gets more and more darker. That's the reality we in right now. And we talked about it yesterday. They're called AGYAN, AGN, I think it is. GN, AG, and nebulae. And the Creator, he says that he allows these things sometimes so man might learn. He might learn. If it's hard to learn in the lap of luxury when everything's going your way. There ain't no friction. There ain't nothing to oppose you so that you'll learn to overcome it. It's hard to learn to mature in the lap of luxury when you got everything at your disposal. You don't come under any affliction where you have to overcome it. And so every now and then, the Creator, he sends times like these. The sister was saying yesterday, times of testing. And that's where I firmly believe that's where we are right now, because when you can kill people, you don't care. You're so desensitized, man, that and maybe you don't even care. Maybe we don't even care, man. That's them. That ain't us. We don't realize if we was over there, that we would be living in fear of getting bombed or the end of our mortality with every second of the day. That would be us. And I think the Creator, he put on us a time, even though we're in the cosmic era, where great learning and change is going, the brotherhood of man, the kingdom of God is going to, it's already in the process. I think we're in a process, and part of that process, it involves hard times, man. Man comes to his lowest estate, and then before the Creator step in and say, now do you understand how wicked and evil you are if you don't want to acknowledge the way that the things that I'm trying to teach you? Now do you understand? You wanted to see it. I gave you over to your free will. You see what the results are. And I was reading in the OAHSPE today, and it's full of stories of self-gods. They were faithful at one point, then they ended up defecting from the Creator, and man, you just see the downward slide. And then that's what I'm going to go into today. I'm going to finish off where I left off yesterday. So I was just scrolling the screen so you could take note of the angels the angels of the daytime and the angels of the evening. But I hope you brethren are doing okay, man. I hope you brethren are doing good. I hope you're trying to learn. I hope you're dealing with school, man. I hope that you able to apply yourself when you sitting in the classroom, man. It's like it's a bright sunny day outside and you want to go outside and play, man, but you inside of that classroom. And I hope that you brethren are learning to apply the things you are learning. I hope that there are brethren who are considering doing ministry yourself and spreading the word. I would love, we got a few brethren sharing, and I think slowly that's on the increase, but still right now we in a time, and the Creator, He know it. We're in a time, we got a lot of opposition, but the encouragement of the word is an amazing thing. It's enough to keep you going. We looking at Christianity, we looking at the religions, and of all the power they talk about, and the OAHSPE, you talk about this too. They talk about religions that talk about all this power. Talk about all this power, and you ain't got a city or a kingdom to show for it. All you doing is talking, man. You just talking. You like the old Texas slang. You're all cattle and no hat. You all cattle and no hat, man. You ain't got a hat on. Or what is it? I got it backwards, right? You're all hat and no cattle. Let me see. Digress with me for a bit. What is it? Which way is it? Is it all? It's Texas saying all hat, no cattle. All hat and no cattle. Man, you're all hat and no cattle. Meaning all talk, no action. And that's what the Creator says religion is. I clicked off of my screen. Hold on a second. All hat, no cattle. Anyway, I got a room, where I like to try to minister. I like to try to, redeem the time this way. This is one of the ways to do it. Let me make my screen slimmer here so I can see what I'm doing. Alright, so I try to target orphans, the downtrodden, or the disabled, or orphans. My information here, you can contact me. And then I have a Bible ministry, or a study group. Basically a study group. It's basically where I try to get brethren to, have fellowship with one another. But I guess this ain't the time period right now. It's not what I was hoping that the room would be. Bunch of brethren just always fellowshipping, chatting with one another. But when I start scrolling, you're going to see it's primarily just me and another sister, and I don't seem to be able to express that I want other brethren to share from the OAHSPE, because that's what blesses other brethren's soul. Now tomorrow I'm not going to be doing a video because I'm going to be at the Bible study. Here's the information right here. You can, I'm going to scroll it. Take down the phone number, take down the information in case you want to consider checking it out. There's some guy, he's a PhD, and he conducts the study. He does a good job too, man. He makes things, he has a very interesting perspective. There are some brethren there. They're pretty lively brethren too. I with any OAHSPE channel, I wouldn't recommend it, man, to just everybody, because sometimes the Creator, He say things, He'll hurt your feelings, man. He will, the truth, sometimes the truth hurt, but with the Creator, it's for constructive purposes. It's not punitive, where It's meant for pain compliance. Well, it's kind of like pain compliance, the OAHSPE, but not in the way it is on the earth. The earth, they'll do things like put you in jail for 50 million years for stealing a candy bar. That's punitive, man. That's overkill. Creator's not like that. Everywhere you read, no matter where you look, the one constant that you're going to read when you look at, it's all good, man. It's simply all good. I know I say that all the time, but that's what make you love. Eventually, you have to love the Creator, man. We may be going through a time right now where, you know what I mean, we wish things were different. But in the end, in your heart, especially you faith this, that it ends up, the end of the story, the end of the story is all good. It's all good, man. The promise of the resurrection is too much to not, what's a good word for it, to pass up. It's too good. It's not really it kind of is an offer, but it's a different kind of offer. The promise of the resurrection. Hey, Prince. Hey, brother. Hey, make sure your link is correct in the description area. I got y'all's links up. If you get a chance, look in the description area, bro, and tell me if I have your link correct. And if you want, you can. This here is a brother. He's what I call a running brother. Brethren who minister, they do things like produce videos, that sort of thing. I call them running brethren. They running. Not to say that they're above anybody or below, but they simply are on another level with the word. The Creator, He done led them to, put it in their heart to be spokesmen. So this here brother, he one of them. I love his videos. He just it's really easy to understand what he's saying. So Prince, if your link is correct in the description area, then or if it's not, just type in, and you can do it right now if you want, put the link to your channel so that brother can check you out. And good to see you, bro. So anyway, yeah, here go my room. And I been minded to share some of the things that I've been posting in my room. I love to post. I like to try to post things. I like to try to share things. Okay, thanks, brother. Right link? Okay, good enough. Thanks. And remember too, bro, that I got the link to my room here, where if you want to share a word with us, or you want to, you can click on the link and I'll bring you onto the channel. But I can't see if you backstage and you want to come on. I don't have it to where I can see it. You have to let me know here in the chat that you backstage, and I'll click you in. So just to let you know, it's good to see you though, bro. Alright, so some things I like to share in my room, some different verses. I love to try to share. I love that's the one thing to keep you going. The one thing, it's like when you have a whole bunch of pizza, way more than what you can eat, man. You want to share it. That's one good thing I think is true about people that the Creator put in us, is that everybody, matter of fact, I got a link here. Matter of fact, this is it right here. That's amazing. Creator put it on my spirit to say it, and the link is right here, what I'm talking about. I didn't even realize it. This is it right here. Check this out. It says, now, when I post verses, I go, here, I go there, I don't always pick up on the context because I think that the verse that I'm trying to share, it says it all in a sense. And this is one of them. I got to close my blinds because my screen, this is that time of day where the sun is just starting to go a little down and I got a big glare on my screen. I can't even see it. 1 second, let me close my blinds. All right, that's a lot better. All right, now this is, I love this verse, man. Check it out. I like to try to find things that it'll be real interesting to read for brethren. And so here's one of them. It says, of whom, now it's jumping in the middle of the thought, so bear with me. It says, of whom Jehovah says, as by fire the dross impurity of metals burned and cast out, leaving that which is pure, so I created the righteous with light from my countenance, to burn out the dross, which is darkness and evil, which the wicked nestle in their bosoms. In this man shall perceive that it is me and my chosen, casting out the dross that heals. Go then and deliver the wicked in hell, and make them clean with water and with fire, and you shall find a star. I like this part right here. It says a star in every soul. That's talking about people. And at some point, the dross is going to be burned off of that. It's going to burn off of every spirit and eventually become a pure, eventually it's going to, the light of the Creator is going to burn all that dross off of man's spirit. Right now we got a lot of dross on us, a foul smell in every soul. Why? Because of the heat, the tetracts. Because in one way or another we all affected. Remember the tetracts, the negative vibrations. It says, and as many of these as you deliver, so is your glory in my enduring realm. That means that if you get busy, if you a brother and you trying to get busy, meaning you trying to take your faith and be active and bless other brethren, you doing what little you can, you don't know the effect you're doing, and you don't know the magnitude of the recompense. I mean, you do, you kind of got an idea, but it's just like it says in the Bible. See, we don't work for nothing. Although I'm pretty sure that brethren who like to do ministry, you really got something in your soul that's saying that there's a great recompense coming your way. You really got, that's what the Creator really do for some of you brethren. Now, I know that there are brethren who very prideful, love to use the word to elevate themselves and not the Creator. Love to, remember the verse in the Apocrypha that say that there are those, they teach a lot of brethren, but they are unprofitable to himself. And so the Creator is saying, I know you. I know your motivation for sharing this word. And you really are about your own glory. You're not about really hoping that you bless your brother, you share something, and he get a big kick out of what you sharing. You're not. He knows what he's saying here. He know your true vibration. So if you under that vibration, don't think that you fooling the Creator. He'll anoint this word if when you share it, you really trying to put a blessing on your brother. When you look at children and they, maybe want to come home from school and they, the first thing they want to talk about their day, they be standing there, running in place, going in circles trying to express themselves to you about what happened. They do it with joy. That's them expressing joy. I met a new friend today. Today we had a cookie party, and they standing there going in circles trying to talk to you and tell you, with their little voices, The Creator say, that the Creator, he gets a kick out of that. you know, you know, you know. But if you trying to run a Boston on people, mean rule over them, and Creator, he see that too, and there ain't no blessing in that. So, like they say in the world, either you come correct, man, or there ain't no profit to you. You'll be used to share the light, but it won't really be of any benefit to you if you're seeking to be worshipped, really. There ain't no real, that's who the Creator is. That's what he's saying here. He says, as many as you deliver, so you have to run legally and lawfully if you want to reap the benefit of entering, the glory and the ethereal kingdoms. It has to be a total transformation. And that pride has got to go, man. Where you pound people over the head with your knowledge. It ain't no good. If you don't put some anointing on it, some flavor to where people, they can see, hey, I didn't make this up. It was given to me. I'm just sharing it with you. And the Creator let me put my own flavor on it, without trying to point to myself. So there's one verse. Here's another verse. It says, the Lord said, a teacher who does all things for his pupil. Meaning, if your pupil don't have to work for it, it says you sacrifice your pupil. And then it says, he who teaches his pupil wrongly, you sin against the Father. Meaning, that's why, you look in the world and, some parents, they make their children work for it. They don't give them everything. And the Creator, he say the same thing. That's why when I was reading about charity, that's why I stopped saying when I talk about the charity I'm trying to have, food charity, I don't mention just anybody anymore. Because the Creator said, if you able-bodied, you supposed to provide for yourself. And that kind of shocked me growing up under Christianity, where you just give any old, and it sounded good to people, and that's why they don't question it. The Creator say, hey, there's a way to do charity, man. Don't just, some guy obviously working out. Hey, man, I'm a little down on my luck. You got a few bucks. You got a few bucks you can spare. The brother looked like he can lift an apartment building. Well, the Creator says he expects that man to provide for himself. And better yet, to show him, maybe of a job opening. You turn the brother, that's the way of the Creator. And then you think about it, you say, you know what? It's just like the old saying. Brother was telling me the other day about, everybody knows it, about teaching a man to fish. Giving him a fish as opposed to teaching him how to fish. And it's the same way in the spirit too. Like, sometimes the Creator sends somebody to you. This happens to me a lot, man, a lot. Even when I was an Israelite and a Christian. And I think what the Creator, what he do is he send people to you to talk. First, you should realize, if you get in a conversation, somebody just strike up a conversation with you, you should realize that the Creator is probably behind it, because you brethren got the words of life. If a faithist ain't got the words of life, believe me, ain't nobody got it. Ain't nobody on the earth got it. And when you start talking to people about, hey man, if you commit suicide, man, you're not getting away from your problem. You're not getting away from it, man. You're going to wake up and be the same person. only you're going to be without a body. You're going to have to still learn that you are greater than those spirits that are influencing you, those Ashars, those Asaph. And also, from what I understand, they're going to have to help that person. You know, from what I understand, man, everybody, you know, like we've been reading about Ahura. Now, to spoil the moral of the story, because I'm ready to go into the reading, to spoil the moral of the story, you know, it goes along with that motto, you know, you're going to sleep in the bed that you made. That means that you're going to, what is another old saying? If you break it, you own it. If you break it, you own it, man. A God or a Lord or an angel, or you break a spirit, you own that spirit. Meaning you got to repair that spirit. That's the way the Creator, man. He told these false gods, hey, as they elevate, you elevate. You're going to elevate, but you're going to be responsible for that spirit that you are accountable to. You are responsible. And so it makes you think of what that dude is doing over in Israel. He just killing them people because he don't want to go to jail. He know if he don't keep that war going, man, once that war stops, he's going to jail because they're going to try him on corruption charges. And he know the only way that he can stay in power and avoid going to jail, he got to keep that war going. That way, as long as he hold on to power, he home free. But when that war stops, then they're going to charge him with corruption. And he's going to have to go to prison. And if you've lived a life, man, of 10-star meals, 5-star hotels, you know, all the dainties that life can give you, and now you sitting there in prison, and the toilet is only 1 foot from your pillow. You see what I mean? That'll drive a man crazy who's lived a life of luxury, like the prime minister of the state. So his mindset is, man, you know what? I ain't going nowhere near no prison. I don't care what has to happen. I'm going to keep on. I'm going to hold on to power. Yeah, this man's a tyrant. And we're going to all get involved. Anyone who hears this video and those who don't, all of us are going to, at some point, we're going to feel it. Somehow, we're going to be affected by what's going on over in Israel right now, in Gaza, and Russia and Ukraine, and more than likely China and Taiwan. It's like the Creator is like, he's saying, he got all these things boiling, like the stove on a pot, or pot on a stove. And you know how the water, it boil, and then it's threatening to boil over, and that's where he got us right now, the Creator. And he said in the OAHSPE that in the Cosmic era, he was going to lower, because you fake this, you brethren, you surrounded. I'm telling you, we are surrounded. We surrounded with Drujas. Now, do you know the OAHSPE said that in our day and age, the Drujas, those who are unenlightened, maybe don't receive the things you saying, that they're going to be made capable to receive the light. They're going to be made capable too. Whereas before, they were not able to receive, eternal life. Drujas, correct me if I'm wrong. At one point, they weren't even capable. But he says in our day, that's going to change. Even the Druid, because we've intermarried. The I-Hens, remember the I-Hens, the original Faithists? And then they gave way to the I-Huans. Those are mixed brethren, part Faithists, part, is it Uzzians? Yeah, I think it's Uzzians, meaning they had children, and it was a crapshoot whether the children were going to be spiritual or not. And so, enter marriage. And I'm going to read something, or maybe it's not, I don't know, maybe I saw where the Creator, he said something about celibacy. That's in the OAHSPE. Did you know that? And you know what? He seemed to prefer it. How do you like that? No sex for his chosen. Now, I don't know if I fully understand that, but I did see it in some verses. He talks about, he seems to lift up celibacy for special purpose people, you know. The verse says, the Lord said, a teacher who does all things for his pupil also sacrifices his pupil. In other words, let the pupil work for it. Don't do everything for him. It says, he who teaches his pupil wrongly sins against the Father. He who teaches his pupil, not all is accessory to evil. In this light, the Lord your God stands over the children of men. Behold, I have demonstrated that my chosen can maintain themselves unharmed among barbarians, also that by unrestrained marriages a sacred people is quickly lost among barbarians. See, I was just talking about celibacy, and is mentioning it right here in a sense that, well, I think this is from the standpoint of the Creator is saying that he never willed, or he never wanted us to intermingle, if I'm understanding this correctly. But we did, and the Creator ended up saying that's even more of a blessing. Hey, so now if you get detention, you on the very brink. You know that, right? You know that, right? You on the brink of getting detention, and it's nice and sunshiny out there. And I was telling you the other day, Lee, the last thing you want to do to a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, is make them sit inside of a room on detention. You close, you that close, okay? I'm just letting you know. You on the very brink, alright? It's good to see you, sis. I'm glad you're here. So, anyway, here, this verse here, it says, let me see, did I skip this verse? Okay, so, yeah, here the Creator is saying that when you teach, don't give way to favoritism, or don't give way to, the filial love between parent and child. I mean, it's like a good coach is a hard coach, man. He don't compromise. He knows the right way, and he does not digress. He doesn't compromise what he knows is right, man, and he uses some tactics where you either learn to do it or you don't, So that's the Creator, man. The Creator, I'm telling you, he make us deal with the less savory things of our reality. He's saying, hey man, that's the only world, that's the only road to walk on, walking, I put that in your path. I did it, Don't look for shortcuts, man, It says, was it not so in all times on the earth? So this is again jumping in the middle of a thought, but I posted it because there's enough here to get the learning out of it. He says, was it not so in all times on earth? And because of this darkness among men, they have laid bare the iniquity of their own hearts. See, that's how you know. That's why I know brethren don't look at the news, don't look at the TV, and I do. I don't look at TV anymore. I look at the world because it confirms what the OAHSPE says about the way men are. And that's also one way I know about the spiritual grade of the world. And then that tells me how much closer we are to the resurrection. Now I know in 2049 it's a harvest. 2049 is a harvest. That's what, like 24 years away from now. And there's going to be a harvest. Brethren who are ready are going to ascend. And then after that, what is it, like 500 years later? Up till the dissolving of the world. It goes into its barrenness cycle and its dissolution cycle. So it's like the Creator. He describes the world agriculturally. You get that garden started. You till the land, till it. Break it up, soft and fertile. Plant the seeds. Crop grows, ripens, prune it, and then when the crop season is over, start the whole cycle all over again. That's life in a nutshell right there. So we got this opportunity to go to you faked this. We want to go. I think that you have to go to high levels of the atmosphere before we become bride and bridegrooms. I think that we have to go to atmosphere. Isn't that right? We have to go to atmosphere and then elevate from there to be made ready to be brides and bridegrooms. Isn't that what the OAHSPE teaches? You got to learn. We got to learn things like, don't we have to learn to first become an Ashar, then an Asaph, then a Lord? Or wait a minute, what is it? Like angel, an Ashar, an Asaph, a Lord, a God, before we can even be considered for brides and bridegrooms? I don't know. I could be wrong. The training is amazing, man. Like what a Lord can do. How they have to be able to listen to like 1,000 conversations at once and tell what each one is saying. Now, if that's a Lord that has to be able to do that, if that's a Lord, then imagine a God, man. The powers of a God. Or what about an Orion chief? That's like a high, Nirvana is above atmosphere. Etheria is before. Do you know that Etheria is after, is higher than atmosphere? You know that? Imagine who these beings are, man. You got to do training. You got to be able to look at colors and interpret them. You know what I mean? You got to be able to synthesize. This is the most amazing thing. The account we read the other day about, what book was it we were looking at? About what the Ethereum, the show they put on for the false gods. Remember? It said, I forget what the account was. They put on such a show that it thoroughly knocked out the false gods and the subjects that they brought with them to see the show that the Ethereans were going to put on. You couldn't find a word for how dumbfounded the atmospherians were at what the gods can do. And the Creator, He allowed it to happen. It was kind of like to give them a shot in the arm. To like, hey man, look, don't defect. Don't defect. This is what it's all about. You might not like your situation right now, but don't defect. It's all for a purpose. It's to make you able, to make you able to prepare you for what, if you can just keep thinking about what's ahead of you. This ain't all there is. Don't it seem like it was the Stone Ages when you was in high school? You never thought you was going to get out of that place. At least me. Now it's like what? let me see, I'm like 60 something years, 62 I think. And it was like, looking back, you know what I mean? It's like you thought you'd never get out, and then now you looking back, it was like 40 something years ago. So he telling us that's where your spirituality is going to be. We could cross over tonight. You want to cross over at all? We want to be ready at all time. Man. I want when the Ashar presents my report card to the ASAP, it's nothing I want more than to be on the honor roll. If I'm gonna have to be here with this overstanding, then I want to be on the honor roll, man. Not to say that I want to be proud and everything, or like, I feel like I'm better than anybody else. But if the Creator is saying, hey, you in life, I'm putting you in life, this is what I want you to do. There ain't no way around it. And if you don't want to believe me, you're just gonna make it hard on yourself until you turn around and then you want to start believing. Just brethren who don't take advantage of your opportunity right now. What is the old Midas commercial? Remember Midas? Pay me now or pay me later. And not to make the Creator sound harsh, but it's he he just leave you to yourself, man. He say, hey, it's like a parent tell you to go to your room until you stop crying, right? Now an Aries zodiac sign, they simply won't stop crying. You got a fight on your hands with them. Matter of fact, they'll cry louder. A Capricorn will get it right away and stop and get it right away. A Virgo may test you. I think a Cancer will get it too. They're a quick study too. I'm just trying to be fun. I'm just trying to joke. Anyway, about time for the reading of the word. So I wanted to go through. I'll do it tomorrow. Go through some more of these verses in my room. I think I got a link in my room if you want to join. But if you come in, try to be lively. Try to participate. I understand brethren are weak, but man, we got such an opportunity. Anyway, let's go ahead and do the reading. And the reading, I'm basically picking up where I left off yesterday, the story of Ahura, and basically for brethren who can't hang out, let me see. Oh, you saying that if you get sent to the room, then you'll know how to wise up right away, right? Is that what you saying, bro? You one of those who know how to wise up right away? That's my brother there. He's a Cancer too. Yeah. I think I would wise up pretty, I think I would. I think I'd shut up right away, But let me see. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the finish up on the reading of the word. We left off, we was talking about Ahura. So let me see. Let me go ahead and find that. And basically, I'm gonna try to conclude it. Where Ahura, he turned out to be my man. He turned out to be my man, Ahura. He started rebelling. He started rejecting, and he was really us. Ahura, the poor brother, he became disillusioned. He's a picture of us, really. That's why the Creator gave him to us. Oh, okay, so let me see. I clicked off on it. Let me, now I gotta find it again. I clicked off on it by accident. But I got a kick out of reading this yesterday. I got a real kick out of it. Because he's us, really. That's what you gotta love about the Creator. See, if you could deny this word, you really denying yourself. And you can't keep that up, man. At some point, you gotta say, hey, you know what, man? That's me, that is really me. And then you break down and then you subscribe to the Creator. If you don't want to subscribe to him, if you don't want to agree with him, well, he's just going to leave you in that room. You're going to go to your room, man, and you're going to be doing all that crying. And you know how some parents, I remember talking to my niece. And I said, how in the world do you deal with all that fuss? She said, I just ignore them. She said, I just ignore them. You mothers are a trip, man. I just ignore them. And that's what the Creator do. He just, all right, go ahead. Matter of fact, cry louder. Go ahead and cry louder. And the Aries will cry louder. Just rebellious as hell when they want to be, All right, let's go ahead and finish up with Ahura. I love Ahura. Let me try to find out where I left off. Okay, I think I left off somewhere around here. Hey, Prince, what are you? What's your zodiac sign, Prince? You laughing at me, so you must be an Aries. What's your zodiac sign, Prince? If you don't want to say, don't say. I know that everybody ain't into that. They think it's witchcraft and all that. I dig it, so. But if you don't have a problem with it, tell me what you are, just so I can know. And then from time to time, look at that! The brother's birthday is some. Check out Press. Let me see, what is tomorrow? June 12th. Oh, no wonder he's doing videos. No wonder I like them videos. He's a communicator. Oh, and he also got a little bit of lawlessness in him. Sagittarius. But that's also a sign of great education. Matter of fact, that's the natural teacher. You brother see how the Creator works. The brother is a communicator. He's doing videos, and also he's under the vibration of teaching. That's the teacher of the zodiac, Sagittarius. They also are bank robbers when they on their lower if they working on their lower vibration. They lawless as hell. See, that's how the Creator glorify himself. See, oh wow, that's a trip. The Creator is he's too much for me. He's just too much for me. People are always working under their vibration, whether it's higher or lower. Alright, so anyway, let me see. Prince says, right, I try to be, natural teacher and communicator. Yep. You working under your vibration. Yep, he is amazing, man, He is amazing. I mean, that's what keep me going. Because I can see him. I don't have no power within myself to do anything consistently other than this. To be about his word. I ain't got no consistent ability in me. I've never been consistent. Okay, I'm trying to stretch this screen. This screen is messing up on me. Let me see. How do I move my screen here? Okay, there we go. Still got to move it a little bit more. Sagittarius are also the natural athletes. They got a lot of natural athletic ability. Look on the championship roster of any sport, and they're loaded with Sagittariuses. Half man, half centaur. All right, this is gonna be good. Now, let me pick off from where I was yesterday, alright? So, you see, Prince says, stay at it, bro. Yakov, stay focused. Absolutely, bro. Yeah, okay, you mean get to the reading of the word. Okay. Right on, brother. Yeah. Stay focused. That's right. All right. May the Heavenly Father bless the reading of His Word. Now, I think I left off around here yesterday. So, matter of fact, let me go over a couple of verses to right here. It says, oh, okay, thank you, brother. Yes, stay consistent. That's right. And it says, in about the same period of time, Jehovah brought the earth into a light. Okay, yeah, we did. I think I ended around here. All right. Now, let me recap real quick. We talking about Ahura. This is a God who defected. All right. He defected, and the Creator, and the same is for you, brethren, too. It's really a story for all of us. You know, we here on the earth, we may defect, and the Creator basically going to tell us. He's telling us in this story, He's going to bring you back. Okay, we cannot desert Him. He's like the type of lover you really desire. They're going to go after you. They ain't going to let you go. He just ain't going to let you go. He ain't going to quit. That's what we read about. So we pick up and it says, about the same period of time, Jehovah brought the earth into a light region for 200 years. And when the Diva was in session, Jehovah's voice spoke to Div. Now remember, the Diva is like the heavenly parliament, and the Div is like the prime minister. So Creator, He brings the heavenly parliament into session. And He says, do not let my sons be cast down because of the sins of Ahura. Ahura is the God who defected, who's going to be brought back. It says, rather be wise and appropriate from his wickedness, meaning learn from his wickedness, that which will be good in the end. See? In the end. See? You, brother, can put your place in the place of Ahura too. He ain't going to let you go. So just forget that. Just forget it. You know, you might not see it now, but you will. He says, for as it was not lawful for my people to marry with the Drooks, behold, Ahura has made a law on his own account against circumcision. Because the Creator said He gave us circumcision so that the women wouldn't be deceived by the Drooks. You know, He gave us circumcision so that we would not intermarry, but we did intermarry eventually. And it says, and it shall come to pass that by their Ahura and his cohorts, sins, even Drooks, shall be raised up to learn of me and my kingdom. So we intermarried when we weren't supposed to, and the Creator said, it's still not going to thwart. Matter of fact, it made His plan greater. He was going to reach out to those who weren't originally ordained to eternal life. He says, and it came to pass that a fourth race, see now another race rose up in the world, and it was a mongrel, being dark and short and less noble, the mongrels. The Ahuans were red and brown and tall and majestic. The Ahuans were the ones who mixed with the Ihens. They were Asu, and it was the Ihens, meaning the faithless, and they intermingled with the original unenlightened, the darkened man. It says the Ihens were small, white, and yellow. Now don't trip and say, see, you know, white people, don't even come to the OAHSPE with that mindset, because he's not. All men are His children. All life are His children. All right. So don't, stop all that. It says, and Jehovah, if you've seen a picture of an albino, and they're what you might call black people, they have a whitish and yellowish color. Just go online and Google it, you'll see. Blonde hair, and it says, and Jehovah put these marks upon His people, circumcision, so that the races could be read in thousands of years. But then Ahura got a hold of it. He said, oh. Now I'm a bypass that. I'm gonna give us a way to get by that circumcision, so that his kingdom can continue to expand. You'll see, woman, man get together, and she asked the man, "Are you a Ihan?" And the guy, yeah, I'm an Ihan. He don't even know what it means, So that fateful night comes, and. Well, I thought you said you were an eye hen, brother. What do you mean? I'm a human being, ain't that what an eye hen is? And then the sister gonna walk out on him. See? Because now the truth done come out. See? Your birthday suit. You can't lie against your birthday suit. It says, Ahura perceived this. See, now he gonna concoct a plan to get past circumcision. Matter of fact, here's the footnote over here where it says that so the races so that we could be read thousands of years through circumcision. It says, the footnote says again, the reader should keep in mind that these traits indicate the common case, being the statistical mode of each race or overall impression some 7,000 to 8,000 years ago. Accordingly, while painting with the broad brush of generalities, it is undoubtedly youthful and has a tenor of accuracy. Still, one should avoid oversimplifying, lest one fails to remember the non-average cases or with unwarranted presumption or infallibility. One rigidly applies the stereotype to individual cases. See, okay, I don't know what the hell he's saying here with the footnote. I perceive he's saying something. I think he's talking somehow about circumcision and how you shouldn't generalize because spiritually it really determines your ethnicity, whether you're an eye hen or. But at one point it was used to keep the faithist from intermingling. At one point, now it's not the case. Obviously, it's where faithists are spread out. It says, "Behold, there are two senses to all men: the spirit and the corporal. When one is in abeyance, the other acts. Meaning, when one is dormant, then the other of his senses, either the physical or the spiritual, if I'm not mistaken." And then it says, "This is suis," meaning the ability to see spiritually or hear spiritually. You hear a lot of people talking about being able to have a vision, or they had a dream, or they're able to hear an angel. That's suis. So it's like it's saying when the corpor is not in effect, then the spirit takes over, and then the spirit allows you to do these things, supernatural type of things. It says, "Call together your companions." So Ahura, he realizes this about the senses. That's what this is saying right here. He knows. See, he was a god. Ahura was a god. He was a god. That means he had a high spiritual elevation, and he still defected. But he had understanding, he had learning, and he knew that there are two senses to all men, the spirit and the corporal. He said, when one is in abeyance, the other acts. When one is stronger than the other, if I'm not mistaken. He says, call together your... So now he's going to concoct a plan to overcome circumcision. He says, call together your companions and find a remedy, for I will prove all things in heaven and earth. For 50 years, Ahura and his host tried by other means to have a great prophet and a seer born into the world. They're going to try to concoct someone who will advocate for Ahura's false kingdom. They needed someone who was able to see visions and dream dreams, these type of things. He says, I know the way of the Lewis. So Ahura is saying, I know the way of those who watch over the faithists. I know them. He says they decoy, meaning they lure, entice, trap, and ensnare the Lewis. You faithists, from what I was saying, we have Lewis over us. They guide us, they lead us, they influence us for righteousness' sake. And so he's going to make up his own. He says, I know how they work. He says they decoy the Ihen men to go with the Ahuan damsels. Okay? So they tempt the Ihens. The Ihens that are married, because they get tempted, they get lured, they get enticed, they get trapped, they get ensnared. And that's what a woman in our reality, they do a lot of that. They lure, they entice. A woman can entice a man. She can trap a man. She can ensnare a man. It's a very rare man that can do that. Now, I'm sure that men also but not like a woman. It's different with her. It's they both, I believe, can do it to one another, but it's biologically, you know what I mean? Biologically, you usually have the man who is going to initiate anything with a woman. And so he's going to take advantage of that. It says, but I have sworn there is no Jehovah. Or is, he says, but I have sworn there is no Jehovah. How then can I go to the sacred people? Meaning, how am I going to deceive the eye hands? How am I going to deceive the faithless if I don't admit that there's a creator? How am I going to do that? He says, and after all, such a prophet might prove treacherous to my kingdom. So they want to raise up a prophet, a seer, who will advocate and say things like Ahura is the real God. And he's saying the prophet, he might turn on me. So it says, so Ahura commanded his emissaries to weigh the matter for another 50 years, then to solve the problem. So Ahura's emissaries inspired thousands of experiments to be made by which a prophet or seer could be made among the mongrels. And Jehovah allowed them to discover that by pressing down on the front brain of infants, they could be made capable of suicide. We should look at the definition of suicide, shouldn't we? We should look at the definition of a suicide. I shouldn't, we should look at what the OAHSPE says. So let's do that real quick. Suicide. It's like a spiritual type of being who can see things in the spiritual. A suicide. Now, where's glossary at? Okay, here we go. Suis. S-U-I-S. So, a suis is, in general, the ability to perceive spiritually, and sometimes used more narrowly is the ability to perceive and or see and or hear angels, spirits, in their natural condition, spiritual comprehension, clairaudience and clairvoyance, a person who can see with the eyes closed, or one who can hear angel voices, not imaginary, but that which can be proved by experiment. One who has clairvoyance is also called a seer. Okay, so we got the overstanding on what suis is. I was reading from right here. Suis. Alright, so we go back and read, and it says, so Ahura's emissaries inspired thousands of experiments to be made by which a prophet or a seer could be made among the mongrels, and Jehovah allowed them to discover that by pressing down the front brain of the infants they could be made capable of suicide. And infants were strapped on boards and another board strapped on the forehead to press the head flat. And every day the headboard was restrapped tighter than the day before until the forehead, which holds the corporal judgment, was pressed flat, and the judgment of the brain driven up into light perceiving regions at the top of the head. You know what? I want to see an example of that. I don't want to start dancing too much, but it gives us a picture that we can look at. Okay, so here's the picture. See, you see their flat foreheads? Isn't that something? These people could see spiritual, it shows that they were suis. Look at the flat foreheads. Isn't that something? That's pretty amazing, man. Now, let me see. Let's get back to the reading. Okay, so I should make this bigger, this screen. It says, suis is in general ability to perceive spiritually, and sometimes used more narrowly is the ability to perceive and or see and or hear angels, spirits in their natural condition, spiritual comprehension, clairaudience and clairvoyance, a person who can see with the eyes closed, or one who can hear angel voices, not imaginary, one that which can be proved by experiment. One who has clairaudience or clairvoyance is also called a seer. Okay, this is it's not what the reading was, so let me go back, find out where I was. Tell me. And wouldn't you know, let me see. I clicked off on where I was and it won't let me get back. How do you like that? Oh man, see, now I gotta go back again. That's alright, I'll find it. I clicked off of where I was, now I gotta go back and find out where I was. Alright, let's see, where was I? Let's do it this way then. Okay, here we go. I was down here somewhere. Let's see. I accidentally clicked off on it. Let's see. Oh man, I'm trying to find where I was. I clicked off on it by accident. Man, that's why I shouldn't have started dancing like that. Oh man, see there? How do you like that, man? I forgot where I was. Oh man, I forgot the chapter and verse. Where was I? Let's see. God gave messengers after due salutation. Man, how do you like that? I didn't make a note of where I was reading from. Man, doggone it. Now let's see. And the ships. Oh, you're killing me, man. Alright, I'm going to have to do it like this. Do a word search, find out where I was. Shoot, man. Let me see. What word? It says, Suis. That's not how you spell that. Oh man, how do you like this? Oh man, shoot. Oh, thanks, Prince. Ahura perceived this one. Behold, thou makes. Then Ahura sought to disprove Joel. All right, thanks, bro. Thanks a lot, bro. Thanks a lot, showing me where I was. 22:11:9. Oh man, thanks a lot, brother. Thank you. 11:9. Man, that's why I don't like to start dancing like that. I start messing up the video. Okay, let's go back. Okay, 11:9. All right. And when these things are fulfilled, behold, I will raise my host. No, that's not it. That's not it. Let me see what you got, Prince. Oh, you just referring to something else. Or perceive this. One is worse. 22. Oh, 11:19. All right. All right. Thanks, brother. Bailed me out. All right, here we go. It says, let me make this a little bigger. It says, and Ahura perceived that the Creator about circumcision. Basically, it says, behold, the marks of Suez are written. So he's going to now find someone, a prophet, a seer, to help him with his kingdom. And it says, Ahura perceived this. One of his lords said to him, behold, the marks of Suez are written. Then Ahura sought to disprove Jehovah in this. And he said, behold, there are two senses to all men, the es and the corporal. When one is in abeyance, okay, so I've read that. It says, for 50 years Ahura and his host tried by other means to have a great prophet or seer born into the world, but failed. Ahura said, I know the way of the Lewis. They decoy the Ahin men to go with the Ahuan damsels. And that's not true, actually. Because the Faithists, their Lewis, are meant to help them to elevate. So he's telling a lie right here. They do influence, but it's not for. Well, wait a minute. He said, but Ahura said, I know the way of Lewis. Now, I don't see where the Lewis, the like guardian angels, decoy us. It sounds like they deceive us, and I don't think that the Lewis, you can't describe them that way. But Ahura is fallen now. He's in that spirit, so he's deceiving the people he's talking to. Or there could be another word for that. I don't know. I can't go into it right now. He says, I know the way to Lewis. They deceived the Ihans to go with Ahuan damsels, who they're not supposed to be going to, but they did. It says, but I've sworn there is no Jehovah. How then can I go to the sacred people? After all, such a prophet might prove treacherous to my kingdom. The prophet that he raises up, he may turn on him, just like Ahura turned on the Creator. So Ahura commanded his emissaries to weigh the matter for another 50 years and then solve the problem. So Ahura and his emissaries inspired thousands of experiments to be made by which a prophet or seer could be made among the mongrels. And Jehovah allowed them to discover that pressing down in the front brain of infants, they could be made capable of Suez. And infants were strapped on boards and another board strapped on the forehead to press the head flat. And every day the headboard was restrapped tighter than the day before until the forehead, which holds corporal judgment, was pressed flat and the judgment of the brain driven up into light perceiving regions at the top of the head. Ahura thus raised up prophets and seers, and they were willing instruments in his hands. And he sent tens of thousands of angels into all the divisions of the earth, teaching this to mortals, thus laying down a foundation for his grand scheme of reducing heaven and earth to his own kingdoms. So he raises up a prophet, he finds out how to make one, someone who can see the angels and hear from them. So he makes a seer, he makes a Suez, and then he sends his angels to the people, and the angels that he sends are those who are under his control. So that's his plan. And then it says, Joey spoke in the Diva, the heavenly parliament, saying, permit even this, what Ahura is doing. He says, the Drooks will heed what one of their own people says as a seer, more than if the same thing were said 100 times over by an Ihan. So the Creator is saying, don't worry. I'm going to use those people for my purposes also. The people that Ahura raises up for his purpose, Creator says, I'm going to use them to reach their own people. So chapter 12, it says, the next resurrection was 6 billion souls, and God, his lords, and his sub-gods had maintained the heavenly parliament, the Diva, and maintained all the orders of heaven and the divisions and kingdoms except those that had confederated with Ahura and his kingdoms. And God and his lords had preserved their own colleges, schools, factories, hospitals, and nurseries, as well as their standard in the temples with mortals. And as to mortals who remained faithless, that is, the Ahuan race preserved in purity, God and his lords and Ashars held command over them for the glory of Jehovah. So this great deception is going on, but still the Creator is maintaining a group of brethren to remain faithful to him. And it says, but over the mongrels who were multiplying fast on the earth, Ahura and his lords and Ashars held command. But alas, for the grade of Ahura's host in heaven, meaning declining real fast, really declining, and Ahura's kingdom going down. It says, in less than 1,000 years, he'd abolished his colleges and schools, except what pertained to acquiring knowledge of earth and atmosphere. He did not teach his people to look for higher or for other worlds, and in this he began to work that was later to be his own downfall. So just like a tyrant, there are some tyrants here on the earth, they come into power, they immediately destroy the records of previous kings or higher knowledge so that everything can focus on him. So he removes a way of higher education and knowledge. So Ahura is doing that now. And then Jobi said, whoever fails to provide a philosophy for the endless acquisition of knowledge dams up the running waters I have made. Let Ahura teach what he will. The time will come when he will be obliged to find an outlet for my created beings. And rather than acknowledge me in my person, he will profess to send souls back in the earth to be reincarnated. So the Creator, that is the trump card right there. The Creator knows he's the only one that can give you what you need, knowledge-wise. He knows he's the only one. So he don't have to sit and worry about any plans of a false god to usurp his kingdom, because he knows that we were born, we were raised up, we're mature, we're going to have questions. False gods ain't going to be able to answer them. It was going to make us restless and make us rebellious, and we were going to, and then the Creator is going to fulfill that need, and that's how he's going to dissolve Ahura's kingdom. That's how he's going to dissolve it. See, he knows that we need to, you faithists are simply brethren who you just have to know. There are some things you just got to know, man. You got this God-sized hole in your heart, and the Creator is the only one who's got the key to unlock you. He's the only one, and the Creator, he noticed. So it ain't nothing. A false god can't unlock you, because he's busy wanting to be worshipped, but he can only go so high. Remember the illustration I was trying to share? The false gods can take you only to the 3rd floor. The Creator, he can take you to the 10 trillionth floor. You know what I mean? I remember my dad, he said that man has 3 degrees of knowledge. He has 3 degrees of knowledge. He said, but the Creator has 360 degrees of knowledge. 360 degrees of knowledge. Verse 4, it says, Ahura's heavenly kingdoms numbered more than 6 billion. Half of them were little better than Druas, being slaves to certain masters, doing whatever they were told without knowing or desiring to know the reason for it. And yet, there were 600 years to pass before another dawn of Dan, meaning his kingdom was going to explode. You got Drujas being born faster than faithists all over the place. And you mean you got 600 years to go before a time of enlightenment? It says there was another 600 years to pass before another dawn of Dan, in which God, his lords, and their people had faith that Jehovah's host would come from on high to deliver heaven and earth out of darkness. So the faithists, they were able to endure all, just like you brethren doing right now. We endure in this reality, keeping faith in the Creator, proclaiming the Creator, not letting the world defeat us. They don't have the answers that the Creator got, so they can never defeat us. You just can't. Who wants a burnt steak? I'm a vegetarian, but you know what I mean? You get my drift? A steak, it's all burnt and crusty and black. Who wants that instead of a well-done vegan steak, let me say? I mean, just absolutely succulent, You see, it's no contest. It says, on the other hand, Ahura, although having been taught the cycles in his early education, spread the word abroad in heaven and earth that there were no cycles. That as things are, they had always been and would continue to be. So he's going to just, now just outright deceive the people for his own kingdom. It says, so as much as God's host prophesy the coming light, Ahura and his host prophesied that nothing of the kind would come. Vegan is you don't eat meat or dairy products. Anything that comes from, flesh. Oh, you just kidding with me. Okay. Yeah, vegan steak, right? Yeah. You really ain't missing too much, man, going vegan. They got stuff out there, man, that tastes just like the real thing, Verse 7, so as much as God's host prophesied the coming light, Ahura and his host prophesied that nothing of the kind would come. Ahura, moreover, sent the following order to his lords to be taught in heaven and earth as follows. Am I not he who inspired Zarathustra, the all-pure? The answer is no. Did I not speak to him face to face? The answer is no. But he's making it sound like he did all these things. He says, all things created, not my own? Who then knows except me if I will light up the world again? So he says, until I say so, then that's what it is. He said, behold, I am the personalization of Ormazdi, the real creator, who was voidance. Voidance means coming forth. The footnote says voidance, coming forth as a person, being an embodiment. So he's saying that he's of the lineage of, a father has a son, He says, all things not my own? No, is the answer. He says, who then knows me except if I will light up the world again? So he's crediting himself with bringing times of Dan, times of enlightenment. He said, behold, I am the personalization of Ormazdi, who is the real creator, who was voidance, meaning he's the progenitor of the creator. But now is, he says, I am the personation of Ormazdi, who was voidance. But now is me, Ahura Mazdi. I'm the creator now. I'm the new sheriff in town. It says, in me only is life and death and resurrection. Whoever calls Ahura Mazda is mine and within my keeping. Do not allow your judgment to be warped by prophets who hope for impossible things. So, just like in the Bible, Jesus Christ says, whoever calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. It sounds a lot like Ahura here. That's why Jesus Christ is suspect. His whole narrative is falling apart, man. Although he spoke wisdom, a lot of wisdom, but there's mixed with some deception in the narrative of Jesus Christ. And OAHSPE said that faithists were going to find that out. That's what we find it out now. That's why we're defecting from Christianity, because now we know the truth. So, but millions upon millions do not want to. They don't want to break free of that. So it says, Ahura says, do not allow your judgment to be warped by prophets who hope for impossible things. So he's just saying anything now to hold on to his kingdom. He says, now in the 80th year of the final Dan, the final enlightenment, Ahura's mainly heavenly kingdoms began to be disturbed by his sub-god's lack of advancement. And so 60 of them congregated together and by messenger appealed to Ahura, saying, In reverence to you, O you all highest God, many years we have served you, and we have paid you tribute whenever you required it of us. We have helped to adorn your capital, Cetus. We have laid your streets with diamonds and pearls. Diamonds and pearls. Would you be a happy boy or a girl? We have built your mansions in which precious gems, and as to your throne, what one of us here who has not contributed to glorify it before you? Yes, in all ways we have been most loyal and tributary to you. Nor are we unmindful of your own wisdom. We remember your arguments of old before defecting from Jehovah. You said to him, behold, you have long promised we will be raised to more exalted kingdom. But behold, 200 years have elapsed and there is no advancement. This is the argument you used in succeeding from your God's kingdoms. Behold, we have now served you in your kingdoms more than 1,000 years. We come to you to know how we can now serve you, so that we may exalt us into kingdoms commensurate with our wisdom and power. To this Ahura replied, saying, most humble and well-meaning lords and sub-gods, why did you not come to me face to face? Why have you consorted in private? Was not my capital and before my throne the proper place for your argument? Had you suggested any way by which advancement for you was possible, I would have answered your demands. But his lords and sub-gods did not come before him, but sent this answer, and as you promised us advancement, provided we served you, so we likewise promised our shars, and our marshals, and captains. Now they come to us saying, we have served for hundreds of years. Give us preferment. Make us kings, gods, and but we have nothing to give. Now, it says, do not think, O God, that we are unwise, that we hunger and come begging, or that diadems, gems, or costly thrones would satisfy us. We know what you have to give, promises. See, now his underlings are exposing Ahura. Now, his kingdom is crumbling now. It says, we know every corner of your vast kingdom, and that all places are full, and that you cannot exalt us. It says, why then should we have spoken before the throne? Why then should we have not spoken before the throne and Cetus? Would not our voices merely breed mischief among other gods and lords? Rather, let us err in our proceeding, bringing just punishment upon ourselves, than injure you and your kingdoms. Hear us then, O Ahura Mazda. So rebellion now. There's rebellion going on in Ahura's kingdom. It says, where does the desires of the endless advancement come from? If this heaven is all, if a little knowledge gives power, why then is great knowledge not desirable? We have destroyed our great colleges, saying, you must not go higher than us. Remember, O Ahura, we were students under their faithless God and lords, when you succeeded, and you said to us, behold, the long training of your course, a curriculum of 1,000 years. Come with me. I will give you kingdoms at once. So that's a picture of what us, faithists, when we cross over, we got to go to school. We got to go to university. And I don't know if it's saying that we have to do 1,000 years, but if that is what it is, then it is. And now, these gods are under Ahura, they tired. They were made promises, Ahura couldn't keep them. They finding that out now. It says, so we came to you when we were suddenly puffed up with great pride. Behold, now we look abroad, and the same stars shine upon us. We have not visited them. We do not know how to go so far. The countless Ethereal worlds lay beyond ours, and we are told that they are habitable. So we do not know. We have no knowledge enabling us to get away from these heavens, except indeed back to the filthy earth. To this Ahura replied, saying, it is plain to me that you are beside yourselves. This is heaven. This heaven is good enough. If there are higher heavens, let them come or stay. I do not go to them, but in truth. With your present convictions, I would be an unwise God not to grant you dismissal from my kingdoms. And that will conclude the reading of this word. I'm going to pick it up again tomorrow. To summarize, now the rebellion is in full effect. Ahura, he's been exposed as a false god, only wanting a kingdom of his own to worship himself, to be a self-god, and it's starting to come apart. The Creator, he said that the one trump card that he's got on all self-gods is that Eventually, the subjects are going to realize that you cannot elevate your people. Their desire to learn is always going to be greater than the power of any man. The desire, since we've been raised up and been maturing in our spirituality, we here on the earth right now, and that means that we have to ascend. We have got to ascend, man. You know, that means we got to be taught now. And the only one who can do it is the Creator. He's the, we're born now. And we in the body for a little while. And then we're going to go on in the atmosphere as a spirit. You fake this, you're going to go to school. Those who don't want to are going to be taught to labor. That's the big nutshell right there. If you want to come on the channel, click on the link. I'll bring you in. We'll talk about it. I'll keep going for a couple of minutes. So it's a beautiful thing we're under. So don't despise that seed you got in you. That seed, that you got in you. It's just like the Bible says about that man. He finds a precious field. And he sells all that he has just for that one little field. That one little field is that seed you got in you. We should all, once you find that seed, how a Creator is separating you, you see that you got that seed, that's really the lottery. And you sell all that you have, the world, in order to keep that seed, brother, I mean, look at me. I'm a brother who's afflicted. Every day, man, my body is sending me messages of mortality. But I couldn't be happier than... I mean, this is just an amazing thing. I don't like being in the body right now. I'm going to tell you, I'm just, it's just, man, But it is what it is, man. And it works a fruit in me where, all right, I'm going to redeem the time. I'm going to redeem it, And I give thanks that the Creator, He sends you a warning, He sends you a warning, a 2-minute warning, And it's like saying, brother, get busy. And you, brother, remember, I talk about this a lot as an example of someone, a mortal, a brother, Sugar Ray Leonard, that fight he had back when, a long time ago, he had that match with Tommy Hearns, and it's a real famous, there was something that happened during the fight where his trainer, Angelo Dundee, told Sugar Ray Leonard, he said, you're blowing it, kid. And then Leonard went out and fought him like a woman. He went delirious, And the same way with the Creator, man. He letting you know, hey, if you're not waking up, if you're not taking advantage of your opportunity, man, you blowing it. Now it's time to get out there and start fighting like a woman. That means, brother, let it all hang out, man. Let it all hang out, If the Creator is saying do it, then, man, that's all the word I need, me personally, being able to receive this word, So I'm saying it to you, brethren, too. That's why I do I look at all, pretty much all the Faithist videos, and we ain't hardly got no audience. And it doesn't depress me. It don't depress me. Because basically we're in the embryonic stage, and that the Creator, He knows what's going on. But He said that the Faithists are going to, He said year after year, they're going to expand. So we've been raised up, man, because we can deal with what He's going to put us through. That's basically it right there. He basically, narrow road. You need a certain type of spirit for a certain type of job, man. Creator, you got to know. He know what He's doing with you. You got to believe it, man. To be able to endure this reality, we're just thoroughly outnumbered, man. We should have given up a long time ago. Just go back into the world and just go for it, if I'm wrong, man, Matthew 7, the broad road, it leadeth to destruction. You see what I'm saying? So Angelo Dundee is saying, Yaiqua, you blowing it, man. You blowing it, Now, I'm saying that only as like the creator. I think I walked the path that was set out for me. You know what I mean? But I think that I'm using that in the sense that it's same for all you brethren. You at some point, man, that seed within you, it make you germinate to where you look at the world, you look at the faiths, you look at the kingdom, you look at the light, and there ain't no comparison, man. There just ain't no comparison. At least, and to overcome the world and the dainties of life. I was talking to this brother today. I went outside and he came by, some guy who comes by every now and then, likes to talk. He comes by all the time, man. And he just, it's gotten to a point, I don't know why he even comes by. I don't like to run my mouth that much with him because I can't get him to see anything. Likes to talk about his car, his house, how good he's got it. He works 3 jobs, and he's like, all he can see is money. He can't hear anything else, That's one thing I fear for you earth signs. I fear for you, brethren, man. You earth signs, you Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. That's why I really fear for you, brethren, man, because you brethren are very familiar with the materialism of the earth signs. Oh, he may be a vampire. Oh, so that's what a vampire is. Man, it's now sometimes you just freaking amaze me, it's really a female thing. Y'all got this ability to express things. Remember I was talking with the white girl yesterday? And I knew, this is how I did it. She was walking in front of me, and I'm in a power chair. And the first time I went by her, I just went by her. Hey, how you doing? Hi, how you doing? I went by her. And then I made it to a stoplight ahead of her, right? And we both were waiting there. And I said, I'm going to go ahead and strike up the conversation. I said, I'm going to get within 5 days of when your birthday is. She said, okay, go for it. And I said, December 12th. She said, oh, man, no, you're close. She said, January 7th or something like that. And that's my mom's birthday, Or it's January, mom's birthday was the 6th. And so, make a long story short, I was talking with her, and as soon as I knew she was a Capricorn, I knew she was going to say something. I knew I was going to get taught one hell of a lesson, even in the short time I was talking with her. I just knew it. And really, it's the same with certain vibrations, I believe. And I knew I was going to get it with her. So we were talking, and she said, yeah, Capricorns carry other people's karmic vibration. They carry other people's karma. And it was so astounding. I couldn't get it, but I knew I was going to get it. And then 10 minutes later, I knew exactly what she was saying. And I thoroughly understood. It was so profound. And you see that in sisters a lot. It is just, they got this, sometimes they get this wisdom on them. And I ain't patronizing them. I'm just saying the creators, if you learn to see him, man, he will blow your mind off the map. If you dedicate yourself, if you just, I'm telling you what I experienced. When you consider the creator, and it's something you can just do in your mind. I'm telling you, man, you're going to get wisdom. You're going to get some wisdom, man. What that girl said about Capricorns and how they carry people's karma, and then it matched up with what I knew about Capricorns. See, this is just next level knowledge. I mean, everybody don't talk the way that's how I know it's not me. It's something the Creator, He's given me to share in efforts to bless brethren with the vibration they're under so they can be encouraged. I like what Jesus Christ said, man. He said, what do you have that you haven't been given? What do you have? Because, we live in America. We think that we did everything, that, what is it called, man? It's, we glorify ourselves, I mean, we just think that, man, I did everything myself. You know what I mean? It's like, I hate to sound negative, man, and there's a subconscious purpose, there's a subconscious source for that. One of them is sports. You look at the NFL, and right after they just get finished breaking somebody's vertebrae, they jump up and down and beat themselves in the chest. That's sending a message to young people. I never thought about it until now. We send subconscious messages that afflict brethren's spirit. Self-worship. One of the biggest things I can think of that I really believe the Creator is giving me to learn from is Muhammad Ali. I am the greatest. He did a lot of self-promotion, man. And I loved it when I was younger. But when I learned the Creator, I felt really bad for him. Very bad for him. Because he didn't know. See? I'm sure he knows now because he's in Atmospheria now. And the Creator, the thing that the Creator says, man, that when you injure people, you have to make it good. You got to feel their pain. You got to make it right. See, that make you look at the Creator seriously. Now correct me if I'm wrong, man. I read the OAHSPE and that's what it say. See? So, we deceive ourselves, man. Now, everybody loves Muhammad Ali. But I'm sure that he realizes now, man, oh my goodness, man. Yep, self-glorification. You better get away from that. Better get away. All that self-glorification. And he left here. Oh, I remember hearing something like, wait, or did I? I think I heard something like that. Didn't even know how to say his own name or something. Yeah, he had something. Yeah, I remember something like that. See, that's the Creator showing you, hey man, I give it and I take it away. So let's give him glory for the good and the evil, man. I mean, we got that, brain injury. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, the Creator, man, there's a mortal affliction on man, and a lot of it has to do with self-worship. We become self-gods, and a lot of times we don't even know it. I'm positive he didn't mean to be offensive to the Creator. Everybody knows it. But sometimes, you get caught up with the culture of the world, and we don't realize until it's too late that now we got to turn around. We got to make recompense for that. We read in the account, man, where the rebellion against Ahura and his sub-gods, they said, see, look, they way up there, man, in the Ethereal realm. We still down here, and we would have been there by now if you hadn't deceived us. Look, they way up there, man, in the Ethereal realm. We got to go up now. All them thousands of years that we don't waste it serving you, we got to start all over again, They up there in Ethereal. Look at them, I'm way down here. I was supposed to be way up there with them. That's basically what they were saying to him. But at least they got the opportunity to recover themselves. At least they got the opportunity. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. Yeah, that part of the Bible I believe is true. That's talking about the Creator. Yeah, we read the other day where he said he gives us time of darkness. See? He said he bring the AG, the Jinn, the nebulae, if I'm understanding correctly. Those are periods of trials. I think it was you that said that, Ace. You see? Now tomorrow there won't be no video. I'm going to be in Bible study tomorrow. If you're interested, I go to the beginning of the video and I gave the information. And, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it down if nobody wants to come on. And I want to give thanks to the Heavenly Father, Earthly Mother, for this opportunity to try to be a light while I'm in this reality. Brethren, peace, love, and light to you, brethren. Thank you for joining me. And until I see you again on video, peace be unto you. Shalom.